110,000 people roar as umpire Neville Nash comes in to bounce the ball for the start of the 1983 Grand Final from Melbourne Cricket Ground between Hawthorn and Essendon.
The key moment for '83 Grand Final was first quarter. Essendon had come off a huge thrashing of North Melbourne. They thrashed North Melbourne in the prelim final by 80 or 90 points. North Melbourne finished on top at the end of the home and away. Essendon played them in the prelim final. We'd already made the grand final, and Essendon just had an enormous game in that prelim final. So they came into the grand final against us as underdogs, but in really good form, to the extent that, gee, the way they're playing, it's going to be a really great contest. They're a worthy opponent. So for us, the key was the way we started. We had to almost put Essendon back in their box a little bit, back to reality. Had a huge win the week before, but here they are playing.
Bartley boots the ball long back there to Knights in the front post. He's got the mark, Peter Knights. That's a good mark. They're expecting a lot from him today. Over it goes to Brereton. There's a chance for Matthews now. Coming to meet it is Rodney Eads, showing a lot of pace. There's a pass, it's all right, and a goal of Loveridge. And Hawthorn get the...
And the first quarter was tough as, a lot of physical clashes, really even contest, and in actual fact at quarter time we were up by maybe 2 goals, so there was really nothing in it at quarter time. So no doubt the critical time for us was the way we started and went about that first quarter.
And kick number 2. Knights and Matthews clash, the two veterans, and spoil each other. Knights again gets shirt front.
Lee and I had our eyes on the ball, and we virtually both attacked the ball, and we sort of bounced off each other. Then accidentally there was an Essendon Guernsey there, and we had to, make a showing, I guess, a physical showing, and that's the way the game really panned out. Even though we won by a huge margin, it was still a pretty tough game. And look, there were a number of incidents. Colin Robinson, who ended up winning the Norm Smith for us, he was involved in an altercation with Timmy Watson, and Timmy went down, and for the rest of the game, John Kennedy Jr. was booed because all the Essendon supporters thought it was he who happened to knock Timmy down. Robbo just went on as if nothing had happened, won the Norm Smith, where poor old John Kennedy Jr., who actually played a fantastic game and could easily have won the Norm Smith, he copped all the jeers from the Essendon supporters for the rest of the game, and it's something that we've never let him live down.
He's grabbed by Matthews. It goes back to Bradbury. The ball is short, kick back there now. Coming into meet it is Rene Gink. He overruns the ball, backing up well as Williams. He's in a bit of trouble. He's grabbed. Here's a go now for Kennedy to have a shot at goal. And he's put it through for a goal. That's their second.
John Kennedy Jr., he played a fantastic game off half-back. Chrissy Mew, cross half-back as well. Even Terry Wallace, who had a fantastic year. He won our best and fairest that year in '83. He was in the centre. He had a heap of possessions and kept on giving forwards opportunities. And of course we had Lee, we had Dermott, had myself. I mean, there were so many options up in that forward line, and we ended up making the most of it. Ken Judge then came on the field, had a terrific game, created an opportunity in a similar position. Judge, who was like a half-forward flanker, same as Bucky, so it was almost an ideal swap.
First kick folds in the back of his opponent, Gary Buckenara, who's got the free kick. Oh, down he goes. He's in all sorts of trouble, Buckenara. What a blow for Hawthorn.
Bucky, of course, his first grand final, first opportunity to play in front of the big crowd, and sadly for him, in the first 5 minutes or thereabouts, if I remember correctly, he had a kick and went down, and his patella tendon snapped and just gave way. And that was certainly a defining moment, but no doubt we were pretty keen to do the job for him, knowing that he'd copped a pretty serious injury that incidentally then kept him out for quite some time after. In the next couple of years, it took him a long time to recover.
Doing well, Lou. And onto Mew, streaming downfield, looking for Matthews. From the skipper.
A hand pass to Russell Green out there at half forward. A long kick towards the goals. I think he might have put this one through. He has. What a goal. What a beautiful goal by Green.
It was the first grand final that a lot of us, a lot of players had played in. Like I played in the previous last grand final and premiership in 1978, so I tasted it, so I knew what the taste was like. But for a lot of players, it was their first one, so we were all very, very close and keen to do well. And certainly our defence was just, Essendon couldn't penetrate, and we were on top, as you would be for 83-point win. We're on top all over the ground.
Wallace at centre field. Good kick from Wallace, looking for Matthews. Hurd, oh, beautiful one-hander, just not completing it enough. Matthews, a shot at goal. Oh, that's a jam! Lethal done it. 5 goals to Matthews.
And especially as the media were really building up this young, up-and-coming Essendon team who'd performed so well during September. They were the sentimental favourites, no doubt. They were the form side, as I've spoken about. So our build-up was about making sure that we play our game, we play hard, we play tough, we give them nothing, we put them under 100% pressure for 100% of the time, and that was our build-up. But we didn't concentrate too much on the opposition, we didn't think too much about Essendon. We knew that if we played our optimum level, we'd be able to do the job, but we all had to play at that level, and fortunately we did.
So at the 30-minute mark, we see the score. There's the siren. Hawthorn of premiers from 1883. And a fine effort. There's their coach, Alan Jeans. And what a happy man. It couldn't have happened to a nicer guy. One of the most popular coaches with the media and with everybody concerned with football. The players are just elated, Peter. And I know that Peter Landy, deep down in his own heart, that's our co-commentator here, or our host of the show here, has a little feeling towards Hawthorn. And
when you look, Alan Jeans, I think.
Peter Knights.
So the final scores here in the 83 grand final. Hawthorn 20 goals, 20 behinds, 140 points to Essendon, 8-9-57.